Hi everyone, for tonight's Nightcap and review, I'm having some water and I'll be reviewing A Twist of Fate by Shai Lenore. This is a book I received as an ARC, but of course I'm giving my honest opinion. These are the tropes and these are the content warnings. I'm gonna say I gave this book 4 stars. It was really, really good and I really enjoyed reading it and I can't wait to tell you more about it. But first, what's this book about? So you have our female main character, Frankie, who unfortunately walks in on her boyfriend cheating on her with her best friend. Now, rather than go stay with her mother, who she has a strained relationship with, she decides the best course of action is to go buy some camping gear and stay at a campsite while she figures out what to do next. Recently, she has noticed, however, there has been a car following her wherever she goes. She originally attributed it to her boyfriend and his friends wanting to keep tabs on her. So she thinks nothing of it as she's leaving the big box store with her camping gear, about to go to the campsite, and she sees the car that's been following her. She thinks he's just gonna wait till his moment to try and talk her into coming home. So as she's driving off to the campsite, seeing the car behind her, she's basically disregarding it and going on about her way. She'll deal with it when she gets there. And when all of a sudden she is rammed from the back and basically pushed off the road down a hill, and it's not pretty. She comes to at the bottom of the hill after this very horrible car accident, and she hears people coming down to come check on her. But based on what they're saying, she knows that they're not there to help her. So she decides to play unalived. No, I don't want to get any guide violations. She decides to play unalived. And when they come to check her, she's actually able to fool them because there's just so much blood that they don't think to check for a pulse. They're like, no one could have survived this. So they leave, and just as she realizes they have left, she unfortunately passes out. Now, when she comes to, she is in the presence in a hospital room with this handsome stranger standing over her, saying he's basically kidnapped her to keep her safe after what has happened to her. She doesn't know what to do. This guy is vaguely familiar, but in the end, she's just been kidnapped by a guy claiming he's not the one who pushed her off the road and isn't out to hurt her. So it leaves the question, should she trust in this guy who's very attractive and she feels drawn to, who has kidnapped her, or is he in fact the one who did hurt her and she is in more danger than she believes? Which is it? So what are my thoughts on this book? Again, I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It was so cute and just such an enjoyable read. You have Carson, I think is how you pronounce it, our male main character, who is, I don't know if he would be a cinnamon roll. I think he would be a cinnamon roll, but you don't see him interact with anyone else to kind of have that tough exterior but gooey center. He's just, for the most part of the story, around people he loves and trusts. So he's just his normal goofy, well, I wouldn't say goofy, but awkward, endearing self, and such a sweetheart, especially when he's interacting with Frankie. He only met her once on a chance encounter when they had such a cute meet when she bumped into him in a bookstore. And he was just so struck by how gorgeous she was and felt like he had this instant connection with her that he convinced his friends to stalk her for the better part of a year, so that while he waits for his chance to introduce himself to her and see if he can have a shot at getting to know her. Unfortunately, she did have a boyfriend at the time, so that's also why his friends were stalking her, because he was just, again, waiting for his chance, and he was actually able to figure out first, before what her boyfriend was up to. And then you have Frankie, our female main character, who was also just so sweet and endearing, especially as it came to Carson and trying to deal with his awkwardness. Like, she put up with some moments where she had to put real faith in him because he was not being forthcoming, because he doesn't want to drive her away by letting her know what he does for a living. So there's a dark side to him that he tries not to bring home so that he doesn't scare her off. So she does have to rely on and trust in the fact that he is in fact not there to hurt her. But the way that they interact with each other is so cute. Like, one of the favorite ways they relax together is on beanbags in his mini library, where she reads to him. And again, he has a mini library. It is adorable the way these two interact with each other. All the characters in this book were very adorable, at least the main family. There are such strong found family vibes in this book that if you love that, you're going to love this book, because the side characters, they are very much cheering each other. I mean, they stalked her for a year, for their friends. So they are go hard for their friends, and they're just adorable. I love the side characters. I almost wish the author would do a prologue because two of the side characters are married. I want their story, okay? I know we got little story snippets from them about their relationship and how it started, but I want to read it in action happening because they are just so cute. And it's so surprising when you read about what they get up to that you're like, these sweet people do that? She, the sweetheart, does that at the end because her man got insulted. So if you like touch her and die or touch him and die, you're going to get that in this book. It is a great trope and they do it so well in this book. Now, along with there being such great characters, the plot was also really enjoyable, and I had a hard time putting this book down. I was turning those pages. I really did enjoy it. I believe this is the author's debut novel, and I will say, having read this book, I do think there are certain moments in the book that could be improved upon. Towards the end, there were a few scenes that felt a little rushed in comparison to the rest of the book, as well as when the villain was revealed. I feel like there could have been Easter eggs to make it seem less coming out of left field of who the villain was. Based on previous interactions, I thought they were the good guy. And even with good guys that turn bad, there are little indicators that you're like, okay, that's what that meant. With this one, it was a good guy who all of a sudden is a bad guy. So I just felt like there could have been little clues and missed opportunities that could have been snuck into the writing earlier on. But overall, I enjoyed the book. I enjoyed the characters, and I am definitely interested in seeing what else this author puts out. Now, this book will be available May 15th. Definitely give it a download. Here is a tip when you're looking for it because Amazon is being a little tricky with this book and finding it. You can't just leave the search bar engine going like all or whatever it's pre-defaulted to and just putting in the title. You need to switch the tab, the little search box down to books, and then you have to put the full title along with the author's name for it to come up. For some reason, if you're just searching if you're doing anything else, you're not going to find it. And this is a good book and you don't want to miss out. So definitely follow those tips. If you need more help, DM the author, comment below, and I will be happy to help you walk you through it. So I hope everyone has a good night and happy readings.